জানাচ্ছি সবাইকে আজকের আলাপচারিতায়। আমরা বছরের এই সময়টাতে অপেক্ষা করি একটি বিশেষ ইভেন্টের জন্য, এবং yes, time has come to experience again that very special community event, which is a significant event in our community diary, and obviously this significant event, which I'm sure you would understand, which I'm reflecting on and referring to, that is Season of Bangla Drama, starting again on 1st of November, and it will continue till 24th of November this year. And again, it's going to be quite a significant event in our life. Especially we will have number of dramatic events, number of exhibitions, talks. So it's just the whole event is keeps on growing. So obviously a very big thank you to London Borough of Tower Hamlets for continuing such a great event. And this time there are also a number of sponsors, being Queen Mary, MMPI, Mayor of Tower Hamlets. So let's introduce my panel members for tonight who have been taking part or will be taking part in this Season of Bangla Drama this time. So I'll start from my right, that is Jordan Kemp. Jordan, you're taking part in a play called Gaharjan, which is scheduled to take part on 24th of November.
Yeah, so we've got Saturday the 23rd performance then we've got the 24th of November on the Sunday as well. And it's just all about the obviously Gaharjan is the India's first recording artist.
I'll come to you. Next to Jordan is Dr. Rafiqul Hasan Khan, Jinna. Assalamu alaikum Jinna bhai. Jinna bhai, Udichi, Bangladesh Udichi Shilpi Goshti UK Sangshad will be performing again a play on, I believe, 3rd of November, এবং একটি অবাস্তব গল্প, বিমল বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়ের গল্প, এবং ডিরেকশন দিয়েছেন জিন্না ভাই আপনি। আমরা আসবো গল্প সম্পর্কে এবং আপনার কাছে আরো জানতে। To my left is Amal Hussain. Again, I'm sure it's a great privilege for me to interview the youngest actress possibly in this show, in this event. Amal, am I right? Possibly, I'm sure you are. Amal will be taking part in a play called Dystopia, which is about a Rohingya girl, experience of a Rohingya girl. So I'm literally very, very excited to talk about it. And to my extreme left is again, I'm very fond of Rez's acting, Rez Kabir. He is going to take part in a play called Terror by Sohaya Vision. And that drama is taking place, I believe, on 7th and 8th of November.
That's right.
Okay. সো দর্শক, আমরা শুরু করতে চাই জিন্না ভাই আপনাকে দিয়ে বাংলাদেশ উদিচি শিল্পী গোষ্ঠী ইউকে সংসদের আয়োজনে একটি অবাস্তব গল্প বিমল বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়ের একটি বেশ প্রসিদ্ধ, একটি আলোচিত একটি গল্প, এবং সেখানে আপনি যদি আমাদের দর্শকদের জন্য খুব সংক্ষেপে বলেন যে গল্পের ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড বা কনটেক্সটটা কি, এবং উদিচি শিল্পী গোষ্ঠীর পক্ষ থেকে এই নাটকটি বিশেষ করে আপনি বেছে নিলেন কেন?
অনেক ধন্যবাদ আপনাকে। প্রথমেই আপনি যেভাবে শুরু করেছিলেন সেটারই প্রতিধ্বনি করে বলছি যে আসলে দুই বাংলার পরে বোধহয় সম্ভবত এই লন্ডনে এই ধরনের নাট্য উৎসব হয়ে থাকে। এর জন্য টাওয়ার হ্যামলেটকে আমাদের অনেক ধন্যবাদ। আমাদের যে গল্পটি আমরা বেছে নিচ্ছি, আমরা প্রায় প্রতি বছর একটি বছর বোধহয় বাদ পড়েছিল, আমরা আমাদের নাটক উদিচির পক্ষ থেকে করে থাকি। এবারের যে গল্পটা আমরা বেছে নিয়েছি এটা হচ্ছে একটি অবাস্তব গল্প, যেটা ইংরেজিতে বলা হয় অ্যান অ্যাবসার্ড স্টোরি, যেটা স্বাভাবিকভাবে হওয়ার কথা না কিন্তু হয়, এবং সেটা কি উন্মোচিত করে আর কি। এটি একটি গল্প হচ্ছে একজন শ্রমিক কে অভিযুক্ত করা হয় তার স্ত্রীকে হত্যা করার জন্য ব্যাপারে, কিন্তু এই হত্যার পরে তাকে বিচারে ফাঁসি দেওয়া হয়। কিন্তু এমন একটি অদ্ভুত ঘটনা ঘটে যে ফাঁসি দেওয়ার পরে সে দেখা যায় যে সে বেঁচে আছে, এবং তাকে আবার তার পুরনো যে ঘটনাটা ঘটেছিল সেই ঘটনাটাকে পুনরাবৃত্তি করে বলা হয় সে যে বলার জন্যে যে কি হয়েছিল। এই করতে গিয়ে সে আসল সংবাদটা বেরিয়ে আসে যে কেন সে আত্মহত্যা করেছিল। তার উপর যে সেই লেআউট হয়েছিল, তার কাজ ছিল না, তারপর সে অ্যাক্সিডেন্টালি তার স্ত্রীকে মেরেছে, কিন্তু তার ফাঁসি হয়ে যায়। এই ক্যাপিটাল পানিশমেন্টের ব্যাপার নিয়ে তখন বিতর্ক ওঠে যে কেন এই ক্যাপিটাল পানিশমেন্ট অ্যাক্ট লুকে দেওয়া হলো, যে আসলেও তার স্ত্রীকে হত্যা করেনি। তার স্ত্রী যখন চুরি করা চাল দিয়ে তার সন্তানদেরকে খাওয়াচ্ছিল তখন দেখা গেল যে সে রাগ হয়ে গেল যে কেন তুমি চুরি করেছো, আমরা গরিব হতে পারি কিন্তু আমরা তো চোর নই, আমি কাজের চেষ্টা করছি। এই মুহূর্তে সে হঠাৎ করে ধাক্কা দিয়ে পড়ে যাওয়ার জন্য মানে রুগ্ন স্ত্রী মারা যায়। তারই পরিপ্রেক্ষিতেই তাকে আলটিমেটলি বোঝানো হয় যে না, সে মাতাল ছিল, সে তার স্ত্রীকে হত্যা করেছে। এখানে দুটি কোশ্চেন চলে আসে, একটি হচ্ছে যে সামাজিক যে বৈষম্য সেটার ব্যাপারে আসে, আর 2 নম্বর হচ্ছে যে একটি লোক সে বলছে আমার স্ত্রী আমার ধাক্কা দেওয়ার জন্য পড়ে গেছিল, মারা গেছে, কিন্তু আমি তাকে হত্যা করিনি।
এবারে আসি আপনাদের নাটকে যারা অভিনয় করছে, এখানে আমরা সবাই অ্যামেচার আর্টিস্ট, কিন্তু তাদের কমিটমেন্ট এবং তারা আলটিমেটলি 3rd of নভেম্বরে যেই নাটকটি মঞ্চস্থ করবেন সে ব্যাপারে আমাদের দর্শকদের যদি কিছু বলেন যে আমরা অ্যাকচুয়ালি কী ধরনের কি কোয়ালিটির পারফরমেন্স আমরা আশা করব।
আমরা এই নাটকটি আমরা মনে করি যে আপনি যে কথাটি বলেছেন যে সবাই প্রায় অ্যামেচার, এখানে কেউ প্রফেশনাল নেই। তারা নাটক ভালোবাসে, নাটক তারা করতে চায় এবং তারা সঙ্গে সঙ্গে সামাজিক সমস্যাগুলো যদি তুলে ধরতে পারে, যেটা আমাদের কমিউনিটির মধ্যে এখন আমরা এটাকে বেছে নিয়েছি একটা কারণে, যেটা এবং তারা খুবই ইউনিকলি অভিনয় করছে ছেলে মেয়ে যেগুলো ইয়ের মধ্যে, সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমাদের একটি বিরাট কোশ্চেন আজকে সবার সামনে। আমি যদি এদেশেও দেখি একটা বিধাবক্তা আছে আবার ক্যাপিটাল পানিশমেন্ট, এবং আমরা আইনের যেটা বলি কিন্তু সেটা অনেক সময় আমরা পারসেপশন অনুযায়ী আমাদের মরালিটির প্রশ্ন নিয়ে, ধর্মের ব্যাপার নিয়ে, এগুলো নিয়ে আমরা বিচার করি যে
অর্থাৎ এই নাটকের সঙ্গে উদিচির যে প্রিন্সিপাল, আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে সেই প্রিন্সিপালের একটা খুব
দুটো জিনিস
ক্লোজ একটা কানেকশন আছে।
অ্যাবসলিউটলি। একটা হচ্ছে যে যে বৈষম্য এবং মানুষের দারিদ্রতাটা মানুষকে কি পর্যায়ে নিতে পারে সেটার ব্যাপারে সে খুব ইমোশনাল, গ্রামের ছেলে, সে এসে করেছে। এবং কেউ সে লাস্ট সেন্টেন্স তার বলছে যে আমি চাপা তোকে আমি মারিনি, যারা মেরেছে তারা আজকে তাদের কোনো ফাঁসি হবে না।
I'll come back to you. Jordan, you are acting on this play called Gohar.
Yeah.
In terms of the description of the play, can you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah.
First
absolutely.
of all, how did you manage to get into this drama?
I actually got into it because they did it about a year ago, and the lead actor that they had, unfortunately, couldn't commit to the project, and so the day before I was sort of brought in last minute. And I remember coming in, and it's a very different experience to sort of come into something like that, and the play itself is something that I've never ever done before.
And I'm assuming it's a very musical play because Gohar was a singer.
Yeah, I mean it does explore that. There's a lot of dance. There is some music in there as well. It's interesting because it's a thing where other mediums have done Gohar and done a lot of the music side of it. What isn't often explored is sort of the journey to her and the enigma of the character. And I think the play more than anything captures the mystery of her.
And
so many backstories.
What role you will be playing?
So I play Frederick Gersberg, who was employed by the British Gramophone Company, and he was sort of sent on this mission to sort of travel around the world,
beautiful voices, okay.
Capture beautiful voices. You know, people had never heard these things before, and so he travels to India. The play kind of explores him making his way to her and trying to find out more about her as he goes. On the way, he sort of meets different characters. They're telling him these different stories. And you're sort of piecing it together, not really knowing what's true or what's not, and you know it kind of builds up to this sort of fantastic conclusion of him capturing this sound. So, in essence, I think that's what it explores. There's a lot of comedy in there as well, which is quite nice.
So, what's the dynamics between Gohorjan and your character? How is that played?
So it's an interesting one. There's a lot of interesting ways to play it, because it's like the artist and his muse in a sense, but also there's a sense of, she doesn't know what this is. This is a new technology that no one's ever seen before. So there's a way to play it where obviously there's a very specific way of handling a technology like that, and for someone who doesn't know about it, it's quite fearful. There was obviously a lot of people at the time, a lot of singers that declined because they was sort of very fearful that the machine would capture their voice, that it was some sort of witchcraft, and you've really got to put yourself in those shoes. But yeah, the relationship is quite an interesting one to play. We've experimented with a few things, and I think sort of in the rehearsal room some interesting stuff comes out.
And the director is Mukul Ahmed, who is he's a brilliant director.
Yeah.
So I'm sure on the day we will see some mesmerizing acting, and the whole performance would be, I'm sure, pretty good.
Fantastic! It's been absolutely fantastic to work with him. He really just lets you explore the scene in your own way, and I think the greatest thing about this play in particularly, and just his collaboration with it, is you can really suggest anything, even if it's kind of ridiculous. You kind of experiment with it. If it doesn't work, fair enough. If it does, but he creates a very safe environment for you to take risks and do that.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to it. Rez Bhai, your play is actually, I'm sure, is going to be quite emotional, called Terror, and the story is based on Holy Artisan incident. So tell us a little bit more about how the actor and actresses are actually containing their emotions in this play. I'm sure that's going to be a challenge.
It's lovely to see you and meet you all. Hello everyone. On the 7th and 8th of November, we're at the Pinter Studio at Queen Mary University. The writer is Raminder Kaur of Sohaya Visions, and the director obviously is Mukul Ahmed. And the actors have been doing workshops, we've been creating images, we've been finding out about the backstory of these three friends, Abinta, Tarishi and Faraz Hussain, who were in the cafe in Gulshan 2. On the 1st of July in 2016, 5 men, terrorists, went into there and held them at ransom, and then it was stormed by the security forces and police, and a lot of people were killed, about 28 people killed. Many were Italians, there were some Japanese and also Bengalis. The terrorists claimed that...
And how they were killed, murdered, was really...
It was horrific. If they were Muslim, they could go. If they were they could go. And if they could recite the Quran, they could go. We as the actors have tried to look at it on how do we stand up to terrorism? What would we do if we were faced with the same situation? And I think when the arguments and the way that we've explored the beautiful script, there is entertainment there, because there's something about friendship, loyalty and love which rises above everything, and I think people will be surprised and very much entertained, even though it's a disturbing subject.
Okay, I mean, it's interesting because obviously the three friends, they were literally general public.
They were 19 or
absolutely.
20. They used to come into this cafe. It was a very safe area by the lake, beautiful scene, and then suddenly this world of horror and terror come in and invades them and tells them to make a choice of where do you stand on an argument that's ridiculous. ওদের কথাই শুনে মানুষ অবাক হয়ে গেছে আর কিছু করতে পারেনি. So they were really, and there was also a little group upstairs hidden in a restroom, so we're exploring that as well, and the relationship between brothers, relations, friends who don't know each other but are willing to sacrifice their life.
So in terms of the script, how are these emotions captured, do you think?
They're captured through music, through the relationships of the three friends and how they challenge the terrorists. And the cast is Shivani Shettia, Shubhalakshmi Mukherjee, myself, Dave Kukadia and Diljan Sidhu. And we're all of different religions, different cultures. We've grown up in different parts of the world. Tarishi, I think, was Hindu, and the others are Muslim, and others had gone to America to study. And so we live in a cosmopolitan world where we choose that our world can be from anywhere. And Bangladesh is a secular country. It's not a comment on the politics, it's a comment on friendship. Because when Faraz, the boy, was asked, you can go because you're Muslim. He said, no, I came with my friends, I'll leave with my friends, I'm not leaving them. And obviously they paid the sacrifice.
Okay. I'm sure it's going to be quite an emotional drama.
It's very
Looking
emotional.
forward to it.
Yes.
My last guest is Amal Hussain. Amal, you are acting in a drama called Dystopia, which is going to be taking place on 2nd of November at Bradiards, and the theme is Rohingya refugees. So tell us a little bit about your role. I believe the role is called Fahmida, a young girl who has survived the brutality and managed to escape. So what happens?
So the play was written by Bulbul Hasan and
directed by Saima. Saima Ahmed. Saima Ahmed.
Yeah, and it centers around a young girl called Fahmida, who is around. She's a teenager. She's a young girl, and she's just seen and witnessed incredible brutality and horrors to her family, to her friends, to everyone around her, and she's fleeing on this little boat. And the play centers around it. It goes through the journey of her on this boat trying to flee to safety with other people coming along the way, and she speaks, there's magical elements to it where she speaks to a manifestation of her fear and other sort of things. And even though it surrounds the refugee crisis in Myanmar, it also explores the passion that she has and her desperation and her determination to stick true to herself, and she really survive. And her one thing is that she loves education, she loves literature, and there's a heavy emphasis on that in the play. And despite everything she's gone through, she stays true to herself and is determined to, reach her destination and study, which is incredible despite all the uncertainties around her.
So in terms of portraying this role, how have you been preparing yourself? Because obviously, as you were discussing, that it's going to be quite a challenging role. So how is your director kind of preparing you or preparing the whole cast?
It's really emotional. So when you read the script, immediately you're put into a place where you feel uncomfortable and vulnerable, because it is a very emotional thing. And we've all as a group studied videos and clips of multiple people preaching their stories, and this is about a real person, this is a real life story. And it's just reading about articles, and it is hard to portray those kind of feelings, especially if you've never gone through it yourself. But we're all trying.
How you are holding on to your own emotions?
It's hard when you're in rehearsals. Everybody, it's so raw, and you see some people and you get moved to tears sometimes. It is very emotional.
I believe this is your first time acting on the stage as a main character?
As a main character. Well, I've been in other plays by BSK, directed by Samanti, but they were more comedic and for children, and this one's more hard-hitting, even though I do believe there's elements that everybody would enjoy, because there's some magical elements which children would enjoy. There's singing.
Brilliant. So best of luck to all you, to Gahar Jan, to Ekti Abastov Golpo, Dystopia and Terror. And I'm sure you will be joining all these beautiful and magnificent dramas, and please collect the brochure from, I believe you can collect it from Brady Center or from anywhere in town, or you can go online to check which performance you would like to attend. But I'm sure the 4 we have talked about are worth seeing. ছোট্ট বিজ্ঞাপন বিরতির পর আমরা ফিরে আসছি। আপনাদের সবার জন্য শুভকামনা থাকলে আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকুন।